What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Land Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Sleds. With me, as always, Titan Mike Kessinger. What's going on, Mike?
Another day, man. I'm tired today.
Yeah, cutting some grass today, huh?
Warm me out. The sun is the devil.
Yeah, it was a little warm today.
I got a tan line from where my watch is.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Dude, this arm is so much darker than this arm. It's nuts. Looking like an Oreo.
There you go.
But so we got your best Browns players on defense list. I didn't do one
Yeah, you didn't do one for the defense this week.
because I wasted all my energy last week on the offense. So I figured I would just adjust yours accordingly. Because most of these people on your list, look through it, like would have been on my list. There's a few that I nixed. And I would add somebody else too. But pretty close. So we'll let you kick it off since it's your list, and I'm just riding the curtails of this.
All right. Are you gonna want to alternate like we did last time? I'll do one, you do one.
We'll see how the wind blows.
All right. So last week, of course, we did the offense. This week, we got defense and special teams. Start off with the defensive line. Of course, number one. Again, these are in no certain order, but number one is definitely Myles Garrett. Been with the Browns since 2017. One of the most dominant defensive players ever to put on a Browns jersey. His first 3 seasons, he has 104 tackles, 30.5 sacks, and 1 helmet to the head hit in 37 games.
That was a weak hit too. Like
one of the top defensive players in the NFL, and he should only get better. Hopefully, he stays on the field.
saying $25+ million.
Yeah, supposedly they're talking about extending him, so that'd be a good idea for sure.
Yeah. We'll keep going on your list.
All right, then we got second, Jabal Sheard. He was with the Browns from 2011 to 2014. Had a solid first 3 seasons in Cleveland. Accumulated 146 tackles, 21 sacks. Was a bright spot in otherwise bad Browns defense. We've had a lot of those. He still remains a solid contributor in the league. Then we got Larry Ogunjobi. Been with the Browns since 2017. After a slow start, he's put together 2 straight solid seasons at defensive tackle. 102 tackles and 11 sacks the past 2 years. Great size and speed for the defensive tackle position, and he should continue to get better as well. Then we got Ataba Rubin. He was with the Browns from 2008 to 2014, defensive tackle. Spent 7 seasons in Cleveland after being picked in the 6th round of the 2008 draft. So one of the best value picks they've had in a long time for sure. Had 338 tackles, 12 sacks. Totaled 100-plus tackles in 5 of his 7 healthy seasons. Missed 1 season due to injury. And then rounding out the defensive line at Kennard Lang. He had 168 tackles and 20.5 sacks in his first 3 seasons at defensive end for the Browns before switching to offensive outside linebacker in year 4. Wasn't as productive, but was definitely productive as a defensive end. I know you got some guys you want to maybe throw in there too.
The only one I'd remove off the list was, and it's not really because he's not better, or because the guy I'm putting on there is 100% better.
Yeah.
But Larry Ogunjobi he's a little too new. Like he's not he's came the same year Myles Garrett, but Myles Garrett is a different animal, right?
Right. Yeah.
I would switch him out with Orpheus Roy. Right? Orpheus Roy spent multiple years with Cleveland. He had 280-some tackles, 9.5 sacks, an interception, and 4 forced fumbles. Just a few.
Yeah. He's definitely one guy I considered.
I would just because of the longevity and his ability to play. When he was drafted, the Browns played a 4-3. He was drafted as a 4-3, and then they switched over to 3-4. He was able to adapt, switch to the 3-4 end, and continue to play, and still play at a pretty decent level. So I would put him in there over Ogunjobi because of longevity and adaptability. Well, he was pretty productive too.
Yeah,
he was a really productive player in Cleveland. Like a guy like Orpheus. I mean, a name like Orpheus is just
can't go wrong with that. Right?
No, that's the Matrix shit right there. All right, So we got defensive backs that you put here. You have. I'm not gonna sit there and read this read word for word from this, but we have your DBs. You have Joe Hayden, Denzel Ward, Anthony Henry. Safeties are T.J. Ward and Dylan McCutcheon. I think the only person I'd take off of there would be Denzel Ward. Even though Denzel Ward has promise, I'd put Eric Wright there over Denzel Ward. Just because Denzel Ward, he's shown flashes,
right?
But he's been hurt.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. He's been the concussions.
If he can stay healthy and produce like he did in a rookie, he'll be on this list. He'll be number 1 on this list. So he'll surpass Joe Hayden. I mean, as probably the top player on this list.
Oh yeah, without
DB wise,
right?
DB wise, everything else is pretty much self-explanatory. Like you got Anthony Henry hit 10 interceptions in a season.
Yeah, he had a monster rookie year.
Like tied a franchise record.
Right.
T.J. Ward, one of the best safeties in the NFL when he played.
He was one of my favorite players, without a doubt.
So I mean, there's just a lot of production in the defense. Cleveland's been able to nail DBs and safeties, in recent history.
Yeah.
They just haven't been able to get linebackers. Like for some reason, they haven't been able to put linebackers in that team.
And we're still having an issue with that.
Yes, but
so that hasn't changed at all.
That list flew by. We got a line. We go to linebackers now. There is a couple here. Well, I only put one. Like, I'm gonna say my piece because everything else on there, DeQuell Jackson, I believe everything he has on here, I wholeheartedly agree with, except for Cameron Wimbley. I would replace Cameron Wimbley only because of the namesake and the productivity, like with Will McGinnis.
Willie McGinnis.
He was a absolute beast when he played for Cleveland. Even when he was in the downside of his backfield of his career,
right.
But he was still a very productive linebacker when he played for Cleveland. Like, he still was able to bring it.
Right.
He had that Jerome Harrison-esque, like he just kept bringing it. He was just old as shit, but a monster. Like, that's what happened. And I just think he's one of the most famous, I think not famous, but like, in this time frame, the biggest name linebacker Cleveland's had, and he was still productive with us.
Yeah.
He's down there with the Jamie Collins name. Jamie Collins was a stud, came here kind of garbage, but when he came here, he was still productive.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, Cameron Wimbley had the great rookie year. He had 11 sacks, but kind of went downhill from there.
Yeah, because he even played for Tennessee. Even signed him after Browns released him.
Yeah, he's been around.
He didn't do much. I was kind of pumped. It was maybe that whole new scenario, new situation.
Right.
It didn't do shit.
Right.
Like, so I mean, Cameron Wimbley had a flash in the pan, here and there, but wasn't consistent. McGinnis may not have, lit up the box scores, his time in Cleveland, but
right.
Or the stat boards, but he was productive. He was dependable, and he wasn't going to lose you games.
Yeah.
He wasn't flashy. He was in the trench, hard hitting, thumper.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't disagree with it.
So I would put him in there over Cameron Wimbley, but everybody else, I'll let you finish out the list. But everybody else on this list, I wholeheartedly agree with because of the lack. But there has been not much to choose from,
right,
linebacker wise in Cleveland.
Well, the first solid linebacker we had since coming back in '99 was Jameer Miller. He played 3 seasons.
I don't even think he was the number one. Like if I was pick out of these people, it would be your number 2 guy on this list.
Well, I mean, when they came back, he was the first notable linebacker that they had. His best year was 2001, his last year with the Browns. He had 101 tackles, 13 sacks, and an interception, and made his first and only Pro Bowl appearance. DeQuell Jackson was as solid as they come. Spent 7 seasons with the Browns. Not counting 7 seasons he played. 2010 he was hurt, missed the whole season. But put up 826 tackles, 11.5 sacks, and had 8 interceptions. 100 or more tackles in 5 of those seasons. Like I said, solid as they come. Then we had Christian Kirksey, who took a couple linebackers just departed, 2014 to 2019. When healthy, he's one of the most productive offensive linebackers in the league. His first 4 seasons, he had 430 tackles, 11.5 sacks, a career high 148 tackles in 2016. And unfortunately, the injury bug kind of bit him the last 2 seasons. Only played 9 games, and of course they let him go. And then the other guy we let go, Joe Schobert, played with the Browns from 16 to 2019. Played sparingly in his rookie year, but after that, he had 3 straight 100-plus tackle seasons. In total, 380 tackles, 8 sacks, and 6 picks, and made the Pro Bowl in 2017. But, of course, he's gone now as well.
Chober's playing in Tampa? Where'd Chober sign?
Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah. That was a money move.
Yeah, that was definitely a money move, without a doubt.
That was dumb. Joe Schober should have signed with a contender.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. Then did you hear he said he went to Jacksonville because he wants to win? Not so sure about that.
What?
But he said he signed with Jacksonville because he wanted to go to a winner.
He wanted to go to a winner.
Yeah, that's what he said.
So he went to Jacksonville.
A winner. We'll see how many they win this year. All right, and then the last category I threw in special teams.
This is all you.
Kind of a crapshoot.
It's not really a crapshoot. There's no other list that could be put on here.
Right.
There's just no other options.
Just to fill time.
There's no other options. Like,
but
this is not like.
When you think of Browns special teams, obviously you think of Phil Dawson.
Yes.
Long-time kicker, 14 years with the Browns, established himself as one of the best kickers in NFL history. Hit on 84% of his career field goals. Almost 98% of his PATs. In 2005 and 2012, he made over 93% of his field goals. And
Is he like the Cleveland Browns leading scorer?
Yeah. He was our MVP for many years.
Yeah.
Our offensive MVP.
It's a sad fucking day in Cleveland, man. It's a sad, sad day.
Then as far as returners go, there weren't any better than Josh Cribbs. 2005 to 2012, one of the most electrifying return men in NFL history.
Wait, so hold on. Did you just say there was no other better one in the NFL or in Cleveland?
No, in Cleveland, I meant.
Oh, I was like, because there's a guy called Devin Hester.
Yeah, I meant. I said Cleveland.
Okay.
But 8 seasons with the Browns, he had 11 returns for a touchdown, 3 punt, and 8 kick return. Made the Pro Bowl in 07, 09, and 2012. And in 2007, he averaged almost 31 yards per kick return and 13.5 yards per punt.
The only thing I didn't like about Josh Cribbs is that he never wanted to play receiver.
Yeah.
He wanted to do this.
He had the ability to play receiver.
Except for when it was a contract year,
right.
He'd play receiver. He'd want to play receiver and get the balls, and so he'd make his money.
Yeah.
And which really pissed me off because you have a job. You're a receiver, but you're also your position on the depth chart is receiver,
right.
But you're playing as a kick returner.
Right.
All right. I get that. That's what you want to do. That's where your money is. Cool. But if we're gonna tell you to play receiver because we need you to play receiver, play fucking receiver, dude. Not when it suits you because you want to boost up your stock so you can get a bigger paycheck. No,
yeah.
Not how that shit works.
Yeah.
And it rubbed me the wrong way, and it annoyed me. It really, really annoyed me, and still annoys me.
That's going back before '99, but Glenn Lane said best player Browns ever had was Eric Metcalf.
Best player, period, like ever in Cleveland history?
I don't know. He said ever had. Maybe he meant returner.
I hope he did. This dude,
might be returner.
This dude needs really because he says things. Right? We had that last time.
Yeah, then you guys...
No. He says things, and then he realizes what he said, and then he has to reword it.
I think he meant best returner. Clarify that, Glenn.
Because
if
it's the best player ever, because I don't think you ever heard of Ozzie Newsome,
Well, maybe he's just saying that because of all the time
Jim Brown.
He burned Pittsburgh. Maybe he was the best player against Pittsburgh. All those returns he had for touchdowns.
I don't know if that's incredible. That's something special.
Yeah, he said returner. Best returner they've ever had. I agree with that.
I don't know. I felt like Josh Cribbs was better.
I don't know. That's a toss. That's a tough one there. I mean, Metcalf was pretty awesome.
Back then, though, returners weren't they weren't big guys. Devin Hester made special teamers kind of relevant, right. In my opinion. I'm not saying but
yeah.
Metcalf also played a lot more receiver, so he looked better all around because he was able to do both.
Right.
But
another returner I had on the list is Travis Benjamin. I was with the Browns from 2012 to 2015. 4 seasons returning kicks. He averaged 12.6 yards per punt and 26 yards per kick. Had 3 punt returns for a touchdown, including a long of 93 yards. Then threw a couple punters on there. Britton Colquitt, 3 seasons with the Browns, averaged 46 yards a punt with a long of 79. And Dave Zastudillo, the lefty, 4 seasons in Cleveland, averaged 44.1 yards per punt and a long of 65 yards. That rounds it up.
That's a very depressing list.
That was a depressing list. But talking about the Browns, so.
So we have there's sports on. There's NASCAR, but neither one of us watch shit driving in circles. I can tell you some. I think Hamlin won with 20 laps to go because of rain.
I couldn't even tell you.
That happened.
Glenn said best Browns player is Jim Brown overall. There we go.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
No doubt.
100%. I just want to make sure because I was about to dude.
Yeah, I knew he hadn't met.
This dude's gonna lose all credibility with anything he's ever said. He told me the best player Browns have ever had was Eric Metcalf. And I'm like, I can name you 5 players on the Browns right now that are better than Eric Metcalf.
Yeah, without a doubt.
But
NASCAR.
Yeah, well, I was just saying there's KBO going on right now.
Yeah.
The Korean baseball organization.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched any of it yet, but I know a lot of people have been tuning into it.
It's because it's like 13 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, because isn't it on like real early in the morning?
It's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. It starts like.
Yeah, I'm not getting up to
that noise. No, like I like sports and all, but like I'm
not even getting up that early to watch an Indians unless it's a World Series game.
No, I got up early one time to watch the Titans game
in England.
I worked overnight. Like I worked overnight one day, and I didn't go to sleep. I watched the game in England when I was in London. And I fell asleep. I think it was a Titans Chargers game, and I fell asleep like in the third quarter in my chair, just dead to the world. I was so pissed off because
Kyle Busch won the race.
Okay, see whatever.
There you go.
I know something happened with Hamlin too, though. Or Hamlin.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe he got into a fight, or no, he wrecked within the first lap or something like that.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those two. So something like that happened. I don't sit there and try to say I'm NASCAR.
Yeah, we're definitely not.
This is
not NASCAR aficionados.
I'm country, but I'm not that country. My buddy Tim, he's dying trying to get me into that.
Yeah, he looks like a NASCAR fan.
He's weird. He's like an emo country dude. It's so fucking weird. Like I never seen a redneck with gauge earrings. He's one of the weirdest fucking dudes that.
Yeah, they said Hamlin wrecked on the first lap.
Yeah, see, I knew something happened with Hamlin, so at least I got that part right.
Yeah.
But with that being said, like, our fucking show is like over now. We're good.
We're gonna talk. We can like go into like
home.
Favorite Cleveland sports memories, and then next week maybe we can rank like the top 5, and might have a little surprise for the fans as far as that goes. Little something I worked on. So.
Oh, no, you showed me earlier.
Yeah.
You're gonna.
So like, what stands out as some of your favorite Cleveland sports? I know you're not a Browns fan, but you're an Indians.
Indians, Cavs, Ohio State. Right. I mean, I'm all.
Yeah, we can include Ohio State in that too.
I'm all Cleveland, all except for the Browns. Like, but I haven't been a Browns fan since I was probably like, I don't know if I've ever really been a Browns fan.
Yeah.
Like, because when I was old enough, when I was young, before I started following the Titans, I don't think I really give a fuck about football. Cause I was like 5.
Yeah.
I think I'm more cared about like.
Yeah, I think I started following it when I was like maybe 9 or 10. That's when I really started getting into sports, I think. Right around that age.
I think I became a Titans fan when I was like 10. Yeah. So it was 96. So it was their Oilers then.
Oh, yeah.
They're the Tennessee Oilers. I think they'll follow them the last year they were in Houston. I think they were in last year in Houston was 95. And then the 96 season, 97 season, 98 season, they were the Tennessee Oilers. And then in 99, they were the Tennessee Titans. They got rebranded. And, what are you looking at?
Glenn mentioned a couple of the Irving shot, obviously, in the Game 7. And then Sandy Alomar hitting the home run in the All-Star game in Cleveland. That was a pretty good moment.
Yeah. See, if we're gonna pick moments, I think the moment, like, if I'm gonna pick a best Cleveland moment, it has to be a moment where, like, it was an All-Star game is just a glorified, like, stat show.
Yeah, it was just cool because he did it.
I get it. I get it. Yeah, I get that.
Because then if you're talking All-Star games, you can talk about Shane Bieber last year,
MVP.
winning the MVP,
exactly.
striking out the side.
Check out That's why I get it. It's cool. It's a cool moment. But I don't know if I can consider that one of the best Cleveland sports moments. If I'm going best Cleveland sports moments, I think number one it would have to be. Even though it ended, the game didn't end how he wanted it to. The Rajai Davis home run.
Yeah, that's in my top.
To tie up the
top 5
2016
for sure.
World
Easily.
Series in Game 7 before the rain delay. That had to be. I remember watching that game. I'm sitting in bed going, man, we're so close again. So close again. 3-1 jokes, left because Cleveland came back 3-1, and then we just fucking let 3-1 happen to us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, here we go. And then, boom, I'm just like, I got hope. Like, full on, like, head to toe, just nothing but, like, we got this. And then the rain
delay.
Like, we're fucked.
Fucked everything.
I was like, as soon as that rain delay happened, I was like, oh, damn it, we ain't coming back from this. For some reason, we ain't going to come back from this.
Right.
And then, I think I blamed that whole series on Bauer. I think it's all Bauer's fault.
Yeah.
You're a grown-ass man playing with
going
fucking Jones. It's a fucking idiot, man.
Well, for me, it's obviously the Cavs championship, our only championship I've ever seen.
Yes. Well, Steve Pick.
Yeah, and I mean, you count Steve A, the Monsters.
Cup.
Yeah, the Monsters. Cleveland Crunch back in the day. I actually taped that because I didn't know if I'd ever see another Cleveland championship.
Are you caught up?
Huh?
The Last Dance.
Oh, no.
You still only watched the first fucking episode?
Yeah.
Dude! What in the life of... What else? You were quarantined, god damn it! What else are you doing?
I know.
There's no sports on. How are you not watching this?
I will.
I know you don't love your wife that much, or
No.
you're entertained that much.
Right.
There's shit to do.
Glenn, stop bringing up bad moments. This is good moments.
Is that when
He said
Antonio Brown...
The drive and the fumble.
Oh, so that one,
I don't have to relive those again.
Planted,
the shit. Might as well talk about the shot too. Talking about the Last Dance.
How about the Kyrie Irving injury? We can talk about that.
Yeah, 2015 had him and
Kevin
Love not got hurt. They would have probably won.
I think it would have won. It would have won 2-2. We would have won with 2-2. Brown would be sitting here looking at the season comes back at his 5th championship.
Right.
And the whole MJ is the GOAT thing could be a mute point right now if LeBron James wins 2 in Cleveland,
right,
2 in Miami, and 1 in LA. I mean,
if any of you guys want to call in and share your favorite moments, hotline number is 330-439-2278. Feel free to do so.
Yeah, like we got I'm talking about so let's not go moments. Let's go to let's look at it. Ohio State has 2 national championships in my lifetime.
Right.
2002, going to be Miami, the number 1 Miami Hurricanes.
Yep.
A stacked number 1.
Very stacked.
Dude, they had 3rd-string players that got drafted. All right, and then we look at the 2014 national championship with Zeke,
Right.
And which we were going into the Big Ten championship. Well, before Big Ten championship week, we were looking at a front runner for that, and then we lose our starting quarterback.
Yeah.
And we're down to our 3rd-string quarterback, Cardell Jones.
I think, like we were talking about before the show, you go back to 2002, you look at that Buckeyes team, Miami had the better team on paper. I mean,
hands down.
Craig Krenzel was.
They had the better team in the game too. Like
Ohio State pulled so many of those games out their ass.
Call me an Ohio State homer all you want, but Ohio State should never have won that game.
No.
But we won that game because Willis McGahee
tore his knee.
Got hurt.
Yep, ACL.
If he was still in that game, I don't think we win that game.
Yeah, I don't either.
I really don't. I mean, Claret had a great game. Krenzel played out his ass. This was before Ohio State had recruiting pipelines all throughout the country. Like, we took care of talent in Ohio. So this is the year Dustin Fox, one of the best recruits in Ohio. Like, crazy.
We got a caller.
Crazy recruit. And in Ohio. So if I was gonna look at, you're gonna take the call.
Yeah. Welcome to the Land Sports Podcast. Who are we talking to?
This is Superfan Matt.
Superfan Matt, what's going on?
First time listener.
I just want to call and get on this conversation.
What you got for us?
Well, first of all, I totally agree with Mike. They had no business winning that championship in 2002.
Yeah,
of course not.
We won on a bogus call.
Right.
And anyone who doesn't agree with that is exactly what Mike is, a Ohio State homer, just like me.
Me too. Oh
yeah, like things gotta fall. Chips fall how they fall. So I mean, if you look at Tom Brady, like he's is all 6 rings still on his finger?
Yeah.
Yes, but it wasn't for, the couple calls, the field goal.
Right.
There's certain things that happened that gave him 6 rings. I mean, just like no one's gonna take away the championship from Ohio State. They played even before the call. They were hanging in with a team they had no business hanging in with.
Not with all that talent Miami had.
Dude, their 4th-string players were first-round draft picks.
Right.
You know what I mean? But okay, Matt. So if you were to pick, which one was more, even though they had no business winning, and a bogus call, put all that aside, the win was still a win. You still celebrated as if they won fair and square, correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. So if you were to sit there, if you had to choose which one meant more to you, or which one was a better victory. Not a better storyline, because they both have great storylines. Because third-string quarterback comes in, they need to blow out their Big Ten competitor in Wisconsin to even make a 4th seed in the playoffs, in the first ever playoffs. And then they have to go through Alabama first off, so now it's like Saban Meyer 2.0. The storylines for both games are historic. But if you were to sit there with all that aside and pick which game you felt more connected to, or more drawn to, or you just thought was a better game, what would you pick?
Well, I'd probably pick 2002.
Yes.
Yeah, because 2002 is what really... I wasn't really too into college football before that, so that's kind of what jump-started my love for the Buckeyes. You know what I mean?
I can agree with that, because...
I don't think you can go wrong either way, because you look at 2012, you lose Braxton Miller, you lose J.T. Barrett. You're down to a guy who not many people knew much about, other than he could throw the ball 100 yards.
Well, the funny thing is, I just sat here and told my wife I was going to tell you 2014, but then I just changed, because...
And I can see 2014, because even then we're the underdog. We're the underdogs in both situations.
Right.
We were the underdog because of injuries in 14. We were the underdog because, before you called, I was saying, Ohio State didn't have the recruiting pipeline that they have now. They weren't nationwide recruiting, grabbing talent from the SEC, from the Pac-12, from all over. We got our own in Ohio, and then we made a cherry pick of 1 or 2 from the southern states, and maybe a East Coast team, or another Midwest states. But we recruited from Ohio, and we took Ohio talent into...
Well, and it kind of jump-started this whole, let's call it almost 20-year run of success for us, too, you know what I mean?
True.
That championship kind of jump-started this whole, with the, minus a couple of years here and there with
Luke Fickell.
Tressel situations and Luke Fickell, but, I think it was more important to the dynasty, even though 2014 was probably more exciting for me.
It definitely was.
I think because it's more of a playoff thing, because Ohio State gets in 2002, they get there because they're the number ranked 2 team. Even though they barely won against Cincinnati and
that's the thing. 2014, a lot of the wins were blowouts in the regular season.
Well, we lost to who was it? Virginia Tech or
first game of the season. Yeah.
2002.
Virginia Tech.
A lot of close games.
Was it in Virginia Tech or was it in the shoe?
What's that?
I said, was it in Virginia or was it at the shoe?
It was in Virginia.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It was on Labor Day.
Yeah, so it was the first or second game of the season we lose.
Right.
And now we're
like a Monday night or something crazy too.
With the fight.
Days on a Monday.
Yeah, with the fight and claw our way back into national praise.
Right.
Because that pushed us. We were coming in there, like, I think it's number 3 ranked team. Like, we were highly ranked and blah, blah, and then we were like 12th. We had to scratch and claw all the way get back in there. We finally get back in there, but we need a down performance. And to go in and play Alabama, beat Alabama. Once we beat Alabama, I knew Mariota and Oregon had no chance.
Right.
And we were just that much better. But then they marched down the field the first drive of the game, and I was like, oh, shit. And then it was like, you know what? Tighten that shit up, and, you know, here we're going duck hunting.
Yeah.
All right? Because it was.
I'm not going to lie. The Alabama game for me was the national championship. If we beat them, I was happy.
It was. Like, it really, yeah. No, I mean, and I think that's the. If you think about that, other than the national championship actually getting the trophy, I think people look at that run as the Alabama game as the biggest game in that run.
It's the Cardell Air Show.
That was a Zeke. Dude, that was a Zeke too. Zeke
just
ran over them Alabama defenders and just ran past them and threw them and all around them. They couldn't stop that man.
No.
Old 12 gauge.
Yeah. What was he now? He's in the XFL. He's in the XFL, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're out of business.
Yeah,
he was.
Well, I read something that Vince McMahon is trying to rebuy the league from bankruptcy.
Really?
They don't count it dead just yet. There's still
we'll see.
Few and far between, but
Cardell was the star over there in the XFL.
First couple weeks, and then kind of shit went.
Yeah, then he
fell off.
Shit the bed after that.
Huh, just like his career at Ohio State.
Yeah, pretty much.
He should never came back. He should rode that success to the NFL.
First round pick.
He'd been a first round pick with a guaranteed money, and it'd have been great time. He wouldn't have been drafted by the Bills.
Well, he didn't come here to play school, so.
Yeah, he didn't come here to learn. Will you teach me to learn? like that's what I didn't come here to play school. That's what he said. That's so funny. I remember that. I was at one of the games he played at FAU that year. I think it was that year when they played FAU or FIU or something like that. Florida International. We won like 63-0.
Yeah, it's Harrison Bryant school, right?
I was at that game when Cardell Jones came in, and I was like, "Who the fuck is this dude?" Because I was like, "That dude's huge."
Yeah, he was a monster.
Dude,
sure.
So I was like, "Why is he so fucking big?" And I was like,
it was fun to watch him run.
I was like, "You're playing the wrong position, homeboy. You should be a linebacker."
I don't remember what team it was when he took out the defensive tackle.
So Matt, we got you on the line here. You're a big LeBron fan, right? Big Bron fan.
What's that?
I said you're a big Bron fan, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is nothing about bad, but I had an opinion. So did you hear the rumors or the whatever about him getting offered a contract by Jerry Jones? Back when there's that NBA.
I did hear some rumors of that like last week or something.
Yeah. So I heard about that earlier in the week. Do you think if LeBron would have played that year, we know when the work stoppage or the holdout or whatever the NBA whatever happened.
Yeah.
If LeBron played tight end, do you think he'd have been good?
I don't think. Well, that was the big debate. Would he be a tight end or a wide receiver? And I don't think he would be a good tight end.
I think he'd be a better tight end than receiver.
I think he'd be a better tight end than Michael Jordan was a baseball player.
Oh, wow. Well, that's
what
brought the whole conversation about, you know.
Right.
They were trying to find a way that LeBron could be a two-sport athlete because Michael was getting all the press for the last couple weeks.
No, but LeBron
I don't know. I just don't think he would be like a good blocker because he's just
neither was Aaron
I love
Hernandez.
LeBron, but he's a big sissy.
Well, you don't have to be. You don't have to be a blocking tight end. You can just be a route running tight end. Like look at.
Oh, he'd be a great route runner.
Look at was it Shannon Sharp?
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp wasn't a blocking tight end. That dude was just big, fast, and had great hands. I mean.
Yeah.
So if that's the type of tight end LeBron's going to be, where he's not a blocking tight end, he's just a route running, catching, goal line. The dude's 6'9".
He'd be a hell of a red zone target for sure.
Red zone target all day long. But there was another thing that they said he'd be. Would he play? Because it was on the morning show on 92.3 The Fan. They asked if he'd be a tight end or a defensive end. They asked Joel Petonio this, and he's like, I think Joel Petonio came out and said he's like LeBron would get worked if he tried to become a defensive end. Like I don't care how big he is, he would not make it. Joel Petonio's like, we'll go head to head if he wants to go head to head. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh no. I was like, I would love pay to see that. Pay to see that. But, well, yeah, before we let you go, what's your... I know you're a Steelers fan, but you're an Indians fan and a Cavs fan.
Yeah.
And so, for shits and giggles, what's your all-time favorite Cleveland sports moment?
All-time favorite Cleveland sports moment is easily the watching the Cavs win the championship at the Horseshoe Stadium with my wife and all the other crazy fans around me. But if I had to pick another one, it would probably be the 90s Indians. I was really into baseball at the time and all like getting into the World Series. Even though we never won it, that was pretty good times.
Yeah,
and of course, the World Series in 2016 was another heartbreaker.
Yep.
But
the 95 season when they had 12 walk-off wins.
Yes,
that was,
95.
That was crazy.
And what was it, 97 when Jose Mesa blew it?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was lights out all year. All year he was lights out.
Yep.
And then he goes...
So, yeah, that's probably it.
Good choices, definitely.
Yeah, I can't argue with any of them. Like,
right.
But like I said, I think...
I was actually excited when the Browns came back, but that didn't last very long.
No, yeah. Lasted about 5 minutes until the first quarter.
That was more like a kid getting a new toy, like the Half Meal toy, you know?
Yeah.
That whole night he's all cool about it, and then that Saturday morning he's like, fuck it.
Like all the excitement, the game started, there's fireworks going off, and then the game starts, and back to reality.
When you're a kid, like, you're just waiting for Santa to bring you that gift, you know, and you, like, take it out, and it's like a piece of shit, or it breaks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like,
or
God, that sucks.
Santa got you the off-brand version of it.
Right.
Santa got you the off-brand version. You're looking for, like, a Nintendo, right? But Santa brings you an Atari. Like, you're looking for the old Browns, but the new Browns are just trash.
Yeah,
like,
it was very bad.
Oh, man.
Like, you ask for, like, a Sega Game Gear, and they get you a Game Boy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. See, I actually prefer the Game Boys.
Well, listen, fellas, it was a good time talking to you.
Yeah, thanks for calling in.
Nice
to hear from you.
Have you back on the show next.
Yeah, we got to get you back in studio.
Yeah, I'll bring my mask, and no, I won't, because I don't wear a mask. But anyway,
I don't either.
Looking forward to coming back in there soon.
Right.
Okay, guys?
We'll get you here.
Yeah, cool.
All right, thanks for calling in.
All right, have a good night.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.
Bye.
All right, we got our super fan calling. That was good.
Oh yeah. I have to agree with him. Like, I think if I have to pick because we didn't get the answer.
Yeah.
But if I was to pick Ohio State won the championship, I think I'd have to go 0-2 because before the injuries, we were considered a title contender.
Yeah.
You know, we were contenders. We've always been part of our contenders.
And you look at the other talent they had all around that team.
Yeah,
was much better than the 2002.
Yes, you look at the 2002. Like they were just a team-oriented, gritty. You know, they knew their roles. They played their roles, and they played them.
They were scrappy.
They played as a team. You know, it wasn't like, and they were able to play the best one because they played as one. Yeah. Like you look at, like I said, the Dustin Fox. You had Craig Krenzel, Maurice Claret.
That championship got Krenzel drafted too, so
yeah, and
worked
then
out for him.
Nothing,
yeah, he did nothing.
I heard a stat today, and I couldn't believe it until I looked it up. Do you know Michigan has not won a game in the Horseshoe since 2000? It's been 20 years.
I knew it's been a long time, but I didn't.
20 years since they won in the shoe.
Wow.
It's sad.
Well,
it's amazing.
We're gonna keep adding to that too.
I hope so.
It's gonna be 30,
I
40.
Hope so.
Hopefully, it never ends.
But see, what happens to Ohio State. Oh, excuse me. Is when we get super cocky and super, because we get humbled real quick, and it's gonna be in a time. A Michigan game's always the end of the year, so if we get humbled in a Michigan game, our playoff shots are.
That's what always scares me is that last game against Michigan and being undefeated and that just ruining the season, losing to Michigan and losing everything. That last week. Because
you got to think about it. If Michigan has one loss and we have one loss, and they're head to head, Michigan goes to the Rose Bowl.
Right.
We don't. We don't even get the consolation prize for the Big Ten and the Rose Bowl.
Right.
So I mean, it's shitty. Unless Michigan loses multiple games, we can't afford to lose them. Because if we don't make the playoffs, it's like, okay, yeah, we can make the playoffs. That sucks. We don't have a championship.
Right.
But it's comforting to know that we can play for the Rose Bowl. You know. And
yeah, definitely.
And playing in Pasadena in the Rose Bowl stadium is still an experience, and an atmosphere that is just like no other, and it's amazing to watch, even on TV. Like, just the Rose Bowl itself was great. I remember watching the Rose Bowl in Germany when they played Oregon.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just got off shift, so it's like 2 a.m. Right. When I'm watching the Rose Bowl, because we're 6 hours ahead. The game starts at like 8, I think, or something like that. So it was fun.
So going back to The Last Dance for a minute, somebody said, I read earlier today, that after LeBron won the championship in Cleveland is when Michael Jordan agreed to do this Last Dance thing.
Yes, because I looked at it, in my opinion only, is that Michael Jordan says, okay, he won one here, he's 3. He has all the stats. Better stats than I have.
Yeah.
I need something to show them that I am who I am and why I am considered the GOAT.
Right.
So that's why he released it because LeBron was riding, he's on his way right now, and there's nothing taking him off there. So when he releases all this stuff in the works, which is still 3 years in the works to make this documentary,
right? Which
I still think he was a producer credit, because you see him with, like, we were not watching it, but in these last few episodes, he is watching on a tablet the interviews of other people in this show.
Yeah.
So all his interviews that Michael does is after the fact, where everybody else has already been interviewed. So he can adjust and take aim and answer the questions accordingly to what. So, like when Gary Payton says some shit about him, he's able to watch what Gary Payton says and then answer.
Right.
You know, instead of answering the question and looking like an idiot. You know what I mean? He's able to adjust and make himself look like fucking nothing happened.
Yeah.
But did you hear the news story about the flu game?
The pizza?
Yeah, you hear about that shit?
Yeah, Utah tried to poison him.
The fucking dude was drunk. Like, I don't care what you say. He's drunk. He played cards, smoked a few too many cigars, had a few too many drinks, and was hung the fuck over all day.
Yeah.
All day. It was even like him. He probably even played cards and drank during the day before the game, because he's like, I'm Michael fucking Jordan.
Right.
What are you going to do?
It's crazy, too, because...
I get it. It's a great story. Like, it looks like your city tried to poison me, and I still fucking and beat you.
Well, he took away... I mean, Utah had some great teams with Stockton, Malone.
Oh, my God.
That might be the best duo, like 1-2 punch of all time.
No.
Pretty close. I don't really consider Pippen, because I think Jordan made Pippen what he was.
Look what Pippen did when Jordan was gone. Pippen led that team. Pippen was dominant.
Did he win a championship without Jordan?
They made it far, but dude, they didn't have... No, but you came against... That year they played...
He wasn't elite, is what I'm trying to say. In my opinion.
Was Malone elite?
Malone was the second leading scorer in all time.
Oh, it was Stockton. He could pass the ball.
Top assist man of all time, yeah.
But he's not a scorer.
Just those two together.
Pippen played point guard as a forward. Like he
did. He was point forward. He invented the point forward.
He was a better scorer than Stockton, right?
Yeah.
And he may not have been as great of an assist man or passer, but he was still fairly good for being a forward.
Right.
So I think Pippen is better than Stockton in my opinion. Like, Stockton, the only reason Stockton's so high up there in the all-time list is because of how great of an assist man he was.
He was a great passer and a good shooter.
Yeah, but he's not as... Pippen could score on almost anybody. Look what he did. Like,
right.
You seen him... When it was just him, the dude was nasty.
Then I heard, talking about the whole GOAT thing, Magic, and I agree with what Magic Johnson said. He said, when you talk about the GOAT, the greatest all time, and you talk about the best all-around player, he goes, LeBron James is the best all-around player of all time, but the greatest of all time individual player is Michael Jordan.
I want you... I was thinking about this before, and when you think of GOAT, you think of a player that can transcend any team.
Yeah.
At any age,
Right.
And just take that team. LeBron James is when Michael Jordan retired. I want you to look this up right now. How old was Michael Jordan when he retired?
39, I think.
When he retired from the NBA? I didn't think he played that long.
$30. I think that was the first time.
Okay. And
before he came back.
In 94?
That was 93. That's when he
and then he retired
started
in 2000. He retired in 2000 after the 2 years with Washington, correct?
Yeah.
In 2000. What time? When did he retire? When was his last year with Washington? 2002?
I'm looking.
2001?
2003.
2003.
Yep.
How old was he when was he born?
$1963. So he was 40.
40.
I was close.
Okay, he was 40 years old. And LeBron's how old right now? 36?
Yeah.
When LeBron was around 36, and he's still doing what he's doing, and Michael Jordan's supposed to be the greatest of all time, right?
Yeah.
Even at 40, he's supposed to be one of the best players in the NBA.
Right.
He was barely above over 500 in Washington, both in his 2 years there.
Yeah.
LeBron James, every single team he goes to, he elevates.
Well,
look at Cleveland. No, I don't care about talent around him.
No, I was gonna say case in point, 2007.
Look at Cleveland. Look who took to the finals. Cleveland, yes, it is prime.
His starting lineup was Boobie Gibson.
The best player he had on the team was Z.
Z, Boobie Gibson, Sasha Pavlik, and Drew Gooden. I'm not talking about that because that's so far. That's so young, so low in his career. It's the beginning of his career. Right.
Let's talk about he leaves for Miami. They made their team, blah blah.
Yeah, we're not gonna count that.
Cleveland goes from first to worst. Even with Kyrie Irving on there, they're still hovering right around 500 and below.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever got a winning record with Kyrie.
No, they didn't.
LeBron comes back, they're back to first. Right? Every single year he's on there, they're in the finals. Every single year he comes back to Cleveland, they're making the NBA finals. Regardless, doesn't matter what happens. If he loses 2 players, they're in the finals. Alright? He goes against one of the best teams ever developed, ever created. Best 73-9 Warriors, comes back 3-1 wins. Alright? He leaves Cleveland after winning a championship and then losing to Durant. And Cleveland goes back to the worst. They're garbage. Right? Michael Jordan leaves Bulls. Bulls are making a deep run in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Alright? That shows you how much better, in my opinion, LeBron is. Michael Jordan is a assassin. Right? He is a scorer like no other. But just because you are a great scorer does not make you the greatest of all time.
Right.
You need to have an effect on the game where no matter what happens, if you leave, that team is no longer good.
Yeah.
Even with talent on the team. Because when LeBron left the second time in Cleveland, the cupboards weren't bare like they were the first time.
Well, the thing with
they weren't bare.
Had LeBron leaving the first time was the best thing that ever happened, even though it hurt and it pissed everybody off, including me. If he would have stayed in Cleveland and not left, they would never won a championship.
I don't think that's right.
They had no cap space. They had no draft picks. They had no assets to do anything, which is why he left. And they were able to recoup, first round picks, get players in the draft, Kyrie Irving, Tristan Thompson, and pieces to build around.
Dan Gilbert would have been able to spend.
It would have been a lot more difficult than it was with him leaving and coming back.
They had to spend money. It might not have been boom boom finals, but within 2 years of LeBron's if he stayed within 2 years, they're in the finals and they probably went in.
Yeah, they're definitely in much better shape now than they were the first time he left because all they had was big old contracts. Yeah, they had no young players to build around.
Half of them retired, so you'd have freed a lot of money. But like I'm saying, LeBron leaves, the team goes is zero, nothing,
Right.
Bottom barrel, because back in the team they're the elite, they're championship contenders all over again. LeBron James makes those teams contenders. 100%. Michael Jordan, he helps them win, but doesn't just because he's on a team to make them contenders.
Yeah. There's no doubt Jordan had more talent around him than LeBron had most times.
Yes, but you can also argue that LeBron has created these big threes, and
right.
But no, LeBron must stay with it. I mean,
I wish he would have stayed. And even Kevin Love said, "I wish him and Kyrie would have been around for another year." The Kyrie thing kind of.
Kyrie's a big sissy.
Yeah, and he's been hurt. I mean, most of the time since he left Cleveland. So.
Kyrie.
How would it have really worked out had he stayed? We would have been missing him anyways.
I don't know.
So you see, with the whole COVID stuff, Ohio State's now talking about potentially playing with 20,000 fans, a fifth of the normal attendance for football games, if permitted, just to have some kind of fan presence. I just heard that today.
Well, that's one of the ideas that the AD was thinking about.
Yeah.
If allowed to have fans in the stands,
right.
Ohio State could probably do, with social distancing, 20,000 fans in a 100,000 fan stadium.
Yeah.
Which only a handful of college football teams can do that.
Right. Yeah. There's not many stadiums of that size around.
No.
But it sounds like this week.
Sounds like football. College football maybe. I feel safer now than I did 2 weeks ago that college football will be.
Because it sounds like the NBA and MLB are coming back late June, early July.
MLB still, I don't know. The MLB I don't think it's close yet because they still haven't worked out any agreement.
Yeah, they said, I forget what one of the player reps said, that they had really positive meetings the other day that they made progress. So it's going to take some time, but I think they'll come to some kind of agreement.
If the MLB doesn't come back before the NBA. And the MLB could be severely hurt.
Well, the NBA is looking at different scenarios. They're looking at playing in your home cities with no fans, and then there's also central locations. There's Las Vegas and Orlando. They're looking at possibly playing all the games there, and they've talked about only coming back with playoff teams or only a certain amount of teams. So there's still a lot to be worked out, but they're making a lot of progress. I know they're looking at the testing situations right now for the players and all the people in the organization, trying to work all that out. So
the commissioner and the NBA is being very very soft when it comes to this.
Yeah.
Just play with no fans and play.
Right.
Because you're going to want to come back. He wants to make a decision mid-June, which means you won't be playing until mid-July. Which means you're not going to end this shit till fucking August.
Yeah,
and then you're going to start your season in December.
Yeah, they're talking about pushing the start of next season to December, and then
you're just wasting. If you're not going to come back till mid-July, don't come fucking back. Like, There's no point. I understand you want to crown a championship, but it's been March, right? Everything's winding down. Everything's getting reopened. No fans, go. It's 5-on-5. It's not like it's fucking like it's.
Right.
You guys
they're
better.
They're overcomplicating it for sure.
And he's just being a big fucking pussy. Like, that's what he's doing. He's being a big pussy.
Yeah.
Everybody's being a big pussy about this shit. Like, okay, it's scary. Wow, oh my god. But just do it.
And
you'll be all right.
As far as I know, all the NBA players that got it, like,
they're fine.
Had no symptoms.
They were fine.
I mean, these guys are in tip-top shape.
Von Miller was like, I'm cool.
Yeah, he said he had some breathing problems a few times, but I mean, he's a little older than some of the other guys.
Yeah, he's on his way down too. You know?
Right. But so locally, they announced today that the high school basketball and football teams can start working out at their school facilities to get ready for the season. So that's a good sign.
Talking about high school football, did you hear what the Ohio State Athletic fucking blah 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 OHSAA or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
Proposed to take effect 2021.
Oh, the 12 teams in the playoffs.
12 teams in the playoffs?
Yeah, they want going from 8 to 12 per region.
I think that's the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah, I think
it's like adding a participation trophy. Is pretty much what it is. Because you're going to have 1 seed for 12 seeds. Well, the first top 4 seeds
get by.
Yeah. So you're going to have 5 versus 12, 6 versus 11, 7-9, and then or 7-10 and 8-9.
Yeah, I don't really.
You're gonna have blowouts, so you're gonna have extra games, and these blowouts are gonna happen, and then
you're gonna have teams making it that shouldn't be there.
The final 4 teams that make it are teams that probably already checked out of their mentality of playing football because they're never in there.
Right.
You know, but now you're gonna tell them, oh, guess what? You're playing a playoff game now because you didn't suck just enough to, you know.
Yeah, you're gonna have 500 or teams that are like 5 and 6.
If you looked at it last year, they had Strongsville would have made it in this past year. Strongsville would have made it at 5-5.
Yeah. See, what's the point? You're gonna lose in the first game, most likely. I mean, there's always a chance of an upset.
There's an upset, but like, what? I think it's stupid.
Yeah,
it's just a way to make money.
No reason for it.
And you're just risking shit. But like, apparently with this, excuse me, my show's boring me. You're risking injury to these kids in unnecessary games because a 12 seed shouldn't have to play.
That's why they're letting these kids start working out now, because they know the conditioning they got to go through to get ready for the season. So they're not risking injury once they start playing. And
that 12 season won't be until next year. So they'll play this season and the following season when I think when it's supposed to take place.
Right.
But it's another way to make money and.
Pretty much.
So we got. Maybe we'll do. What do you say? We'll rank next week.
Yeah, we'll do like the top 5 Cleveland sports moments of like our era, our decade. What we've seen, witnessed, and then we'll have a surprise as far as that goes. Other than that, you got anything else?
Yeah, no, I really don't.
Hey, we made it an hour, so it's tough times right now. Not much to talk about.
It's very sad.
We're trying to drop some new stuff here to throw at you guys. So.
We need sports.
Yeah, hopefully here soon we'll have.
So we don't watch wrestling, and like that's what all the like people that we know that are doing shows like this, they're talking about wrestling. Cause that shit's still going, but I don't talk wrestling. Cause it's not sport. I don't care what you say. It's not a fucking sport. It's acting. That is motherfucking acting.
They're doing it with no fans.
You are glorified stuntmen.
They got UFC.
Yeah, okay.
They're fighting with no fans.
Yeah.
But.
I guess we can do Korean baseball. We can do a KBO minute.
I haven't watched any of it yet. I might. I don't know. Yeah,
someone
we need
play sports.
Someone, please. We need something to talk about.
Was it Stern?
No, he died.
Okay, who the fuck?
Adam Silver.
The ball guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you penis-looking motherfucker. Start your league up, all right? God, and Manfred just fucking...
Yeah, come to an agreement already.
Dude, they're saying like 5 teams could be bankrupt, you know? MLB teams could go bankrupt.
What are the Indians going to do? They remember, according to Dolan's, they're in the red every year, and now they're not going to have
show me your fucking book. Show me your book.
Right, I don't buy any
Show
of that
me your goddamn books and show me you're in the fucking red. Because I'll tell you right now, you bought that team for millions, and now it's worth billions.
He's making money.
Fuck you and your...
He would have sold it. If he was losing money, he would have sold it.
No businessman's going to run in the red for years just because he loves it.
He would have sold it.
He'd have sold that team the second year it was in the red, he'd have been like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
That's all BS.
Yeah, he's a stingy old bastard.
Yeah, we got to get baseball back so we can enjoy Francisco Lindor.
We need to trade that fucking Smiley dude, because
the
first time he smiles when he hits the home run, we pissed off.
They were talking about that. Once the league starts back up, like in the spring training of them,
get him out of here.
They might trade him.
Just get him out of here.
Yeah.
Just go. Let us suck.
But that's all we're going to hear about for the next year and a half.
When are they going to do it? When are they going to do it?
Where's he going to go? Yankees, Red Sox,
he won't go to the Yankees.
Dodgers.
He'll go to Dodgers. He'll go to some National League team. They're not going to get what they want to get for him, but they're not going to be able to.
No, they should have traded him.
A long time ago.
Yeah. Well, the off season
3 years ago.
Before this past off
3 years ago. We could have got like Babe Ruth for him 3 years ago. Like prime Babe Ruth.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
I only know prime Babe Ruth could survive this. I don't think he could play in this era. His pitchers throw so much faster and so much more movement on the balls now than they did like when he was in there.
Right.
I don't think he get. I think he strike out a lot.
Probably.
A lot. I think Babe Ruth looked like a joke.
Yeah. I don't know.
Joke.
That'd be interesting to see.
So the year that Brady got drafted was the 2000 NFL draft, and the Browns took Courtney Brown, right?
Yeah, the Quiet Storm.
They did a redraft of that 2000 NFL draft.
Really?
Cleveland Browns took Tom Brady.
Really?
Number 1 overall.
Wow.
Yep. Tennessee took. That's when we drafted Keith Bullock that year. We ended up with somebody else. I don't know who the fuck it was. I don't think it was anybody's. But it was pretty interesting. Bleacher Report today. You should look it up.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out for sure.
It was pretty interesting to see all the people. But all right. Other than that, I got nothing.
Yeah, I think we're good. We stretched it out to an hour and 3 minutes. So.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here.
All right.
Later, shitheads.
All right, we'll be back next week.
Maybe we'll let you know.
Yeah, with our top 5 Cleveland sports moments of our era. But other than that, we will see you then. Have a good weekend. Memorial Day. Stay safe.
Get drunk.